This will be for the con exercise measuring segments. So here they want us to find the length of segment DC. Okay, that's the distance from point D to point Z. And I'll show you the easier way in a minute, but you really should know how to do it with the formula. Okay, and the formula, I'll write DC with no bar on top. That represents the length of segment DC. The formula for that is going to be the absolute value of lowercase d minus lowercase c. Okay, the lowercase letters represent the number on the number line for that respective point. Okay, for instance, lowercase d is the number for the point D. Okay, so here lowercase d would be a 4, and lowercase c represents the number for point C. So clearly here that would be a 3. All right, so in this case, d minus c would just be 4 minus 3. And 4 minus 3 is 1. And when you take the absolute value, it does nothing. Okay, so it's clearly just 1. Now, just for your information, when you take the absolute value, all that does is make a negative number into a positive. Okay, if the number is already positive or 0, the absolute value will do nothing. And the reason we do absolute value is because distance and length is always positive. So if you reverse these letters, instead of DC, we can write CD and apply the same formula, but instead of D minus C, we can do C minus D. We should get the same answer because the distance from D to C is the same as the distance from C to D. Okay, so if we did C minus D, that would be 3 minus 4. And 3 minus 4 is negative 1. But when you take the absolute value of negative 1, it will just be positive once again. So that's how you do it using the formula. And of course, you can go to the number line and just count. The distance from C to D is just 1 unit. Okay? But the reason you want to know the formula method is because the dots, the points, may be far apart. Perhaps not in this exercise, but you might come across a problem where one dot is at point 53 and the other dot is at negative 5. It would be difficult or lengthy to count all of those units, and it would be quicker just to use the formula in that case. All right, so just enter 1 in the box. So they want us to find the length of AD. Okay, so I'll do one more using the formula. So AD will be the absolute value of lowercase a minus lowercase d. Lowercase a is the number for point A, so that is negative 2. And lowercase d is the number for point D, that's positive 1. So a minus d is negative 2 minus 1. And negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3. But if you take the absolute value, that will be positive 3. Okay, and like I said, if you reverse these, you'll still get positive 3. But of course, you can always just count going from A to D, 1, 2, 3 units. So just click in the box and type 3.